Well, good morning, folks, and welcome back to the Hilltop Workshop. It has been quite a while, I know, and I do apologise. Work has been busy, which is good for me, but bad for the channel. So I've been looking through some of the comments and views and whatnot, and my speaker teardown, the subwoofer teardown, seemed to get quite a lot of interest. And I'm in the process of clearing out the workshop, so while I'm doing that, I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of these drivers, which are buggered in one way or another. This one here is open circuit. But I thought before I chuck them out, I'd at least give you guys a bit of a look at them. So this is a B&W FST Midrange out of, I believe, the part number would line up with an 803D, but you can see the dust cap or the phase plug in the middle actually has the hole in it, which would be indicative of it being on an 802 or possibly an 800, but the phase plug's probably been changed with at some stage through the amount of spares and bits and pieces that I have here. So this is the FST driver. The FST stands for Fixed Suspension Transducer, I think. I'm probably wrong. If I'm wrong, no doubt we'll hear it, but I believe that's what it is. This technology was originally brought out in the 800 series and has since, again, like most of their stuff, trickled down to the more entry-level speakers. I know it's in the 700s. I don't know if it's in the 600s yet, but I know the 700s have got it. And what that means is the suspension around the outside isn't very pliable. The driver doesn't have that much excursion. Obviously, being a mid-range driver, you don't need that much excursion because it's not going to be producing, any sort of frequencies in the hundreds when you get a fair bit of excursion. So it works quite well. This is one of the Kevlar ones. They've since replaced this with their new material called Continuum, and all reports are that it is superior. Possibly a bit of marketing behind that because now all the mid-range drivers are silver instead of yellow, so instantly people want to upgrade to something with a silver driver in it. But yeah, new material, new technology. I have no doubt that there's some science behind it because B&W are pretty good with that sort of stuff. So the phase plug in these normally doesn't have the hole for the mid-range cover to go onto, which the 802s and 800s did have, and the 801s when they were around. So it was just a circular cover that just went straight onto the middle and just had a little pin in the middle that would lock into there, and that was your mid-range cover. 803s, 804s had FST mid-ranges, but they had a full cover. The grille went from top to bottom, didn't have the individual mid-range cover. So you can see probably about a 25, 26 millimeter voice coil, good solid pole piece in there. It's a steel pole piece, not just Chinese pot metal. Aluminium basket, as is always the case with B&W speakers. Magnets, obviously the magnet is not as big as you would expect to see on, say, a bass driver, but again, because of the relatively limited excursion on this speaker, it doesn't require anything too huge to be able to pull it in and out, centimetres or, tens of millimetres at a time. So no doubt a lot of research went into this. You can see the spider. We flex that. The spider has got a fair bit of tension on it. Really doesn't want to go too much more than that, maybe 5 mil, but of course, what I'm doing there is going to be way, way beyond anything that it's going to experience inside the enclosure when it's running. As I said, the frequencies that these drivers handle just don't go there. The installation of these speakers, obviously it has been in the past a topic of discussion because a lot of people can't work out how to get them in and out. It's that hole there is basically what goes all the way through the pole piece through the front of the driver, so that hole that the phase plug screws into is threaded all the way through. And then on the other side of this, there's what they call the drawbar, which goes through the cabinet, through the Nautilus head or the turbine or whatever they call it. And then there's a nut on the back, on the outside of the 804s, 803s. Obviously, the 802s, 801s, so on and so forth, had an aluminium screw and nut assembly on the other side that would actually pull this into place. And then this aluminium basket would sit in a Sorbothane surround or suspension to isolate it from the cabinet. So again, a lot of science, a lot of research and development going into it, not just all for looks. But yes, there we are. Part number on this one is, I'll just take the glasses off. It's an LF 00264, I believe. You can see the build date on it, 18th of April 2007. So going back a fair way there. 4-ohm driver, made in England. Don't often see that. Anyway, guys, yeah, good to be back. I will be doing another one of these very shortly on another B&W driver. I think I've got a base driver here, again, out of 800 series, so I'll get that on the bench and show you around that one as well. Again, thanks for watching. Good to be back. And like, subscribe, all the yada yada. And hopefully I'll be back a bit more regular. Cheers, guys. Thank you.